Because the most unprotected person in America is a black woman, okay? So in reality, like, we're looking at this from like a standpoint of like, why do we see it happen to black women so much? And like, stay with me. I don't think it's actually about black women, about taking black women executives down in the sense that it feels like on our end from black women. And I say that because when you have an organization and leaders aren't ish, like they are literally toxic. Hi, baby. Hello, good boy. Where was I? Okay, so when you have an organization that has poor culture, they are not inclusive, they are not transformational leaders or inclusive leaders, we find that like basically leaders from the top down like operate in the same way that society does, which means that like the tones of palm colored supremacy culture like starts to ingrain in the way that they react with others, and how they view themselves in terms of like organizational culture. So when you think about it from that regard, organizational culture is a hierarchy, which means when we connect that to palm-colored supremacy culture, then it means that each leader is kind of responsible for holding their own power. And so it kind of is like, this is my lane, this is my power, I have to retain this in order to, for myself, for me to move up in my career, for me to have the compensation, for people to view me as a competent leader that's going to do it. Okay, so when you consider that, and that each leader is operating really out of a place of ego, unless you have a really positive culture, then it is always going to be a me versus you mentality, even in an organization where you are working together or there is a black female executive. So why does that matter? Why does this context matter? It matters because it's actually in that moment not about black women. It is about one person's ego. But why we say that everyone tries to take down black women, which is what we know to be what it feels like for us as black women, is because it is much easier to take down a black female or a black woman executive for this reason. When we consider racial bias, when we consider like stereotypes, when we consider how that really impacts black women, it makes them a much easier target to position things. So for example, if you have a disagreement with a man and you say, oh, they're aggressive, that aligns with the dynamic that is okay for, like, for instance, palm-colored males to navigate the world. However, that is not okay for black women to navigate the world, right? We become the angry black woman, right? And so because that tone in itself can be so easily leveraged against black women executives, it is just much easier to take them down because of that dynamic. It happens the same exact way for white women, unfortunately, because